Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everyone. It's Finney here from Finney's Homebrew Emporium, and I'm just starting my grapefruit sculpin clone. So I've had the beer a couple of times. The first time I thought it was really good. Second time I thought the grapefruit did come through a little bit false. So I think they do use a bit of grapefruit extract, which I couldn't find in the shop today, but the shop here is a wee bit small, so I'll have a look in the larger shop at some point. But we are going to use grapefruits as well, because it's a bit more authentic. And this is going to be hopefully my entry into the homebrew comp that we've got on the 23rd of October for the our local homebrew club. So at the moment, Grainfather obviously. We're mashing at 63. It's only just started going, so you can probably see it's quite cloudy at the moment. We're mashing at 63 because it is a dry beer. Looking at the forums over the last day or so, trying to get an idea of the recipe. Someone said the final gravity is like 10 to below 9 or something, so you know, really dry, sort of West Coast American IPA sort of thing. So I've gone for the American 2-row malt from Gladfield. I know it's not probably what they're using, but I don't think we'd get the right malt that they're using anyway. And then some Gladiator caramels to add some body in behind it, with some Vienna and a teeny tiny bit of light crystal. So the idea being just, you know, let the hops come through and do what they need to do best. We'll adjust the water profile as well. I've used sour grapes, which is acidulated malt, in the mash, so that should drop me down to the 5.6, 5.5 pH at room temperature, which is 5.2 at mash temperature, so we shouldn't have to do anything to the mash. But when we get to the boil, I'll add in salts to the boil, probably aim for about 50 to 70 parts per million calcium, but hit those chlorides hard. 150 sulphates, 150 sulphates, and probably about 50 chlorides, just so we got that aggressive bitterness going on. So yeah, that's about it. The hops in there are Amarillo Simcoe and a bit of Centennial. I was going to do some first Wort hopping with something that's a little bit more spicy as well, just to fill in that body in the middle. But I'll figure that out once I delve into the freezer and see what hops I've actually got. But yeah, excited to brew it. So hopefully I'll then be taking it to the hard labour weekend as well, when we go away in October. So it best be a good beer, because I'm going to be aching after doing that run. So we're 40 minutes into the mash. This is what I like about the Grainfather. You probably see through the top there. Remember, this was all nice and cloudy at the start. You can start to see now it's starting to clear up. We've still got a wee bit to go, but you can start to see the the fittings underneath. And once it's really clear, you should be able to see the grate as well. So you know that conversion's happening, which is good. So all your starches turning into usable sugars. So by the end of the hour, this should be nice and crystal clear. If not, then we'll just let it carry on. You may even have to give it a stir. But yeah, hopefully it will carry on. It'll be good. There we go. And as you can see, we've just mashed out, and you can see the clarity is pretty good. You can see the definition of the grill underneath. So yeah, we'll get sparge in this and get into the boil. The trick while you're using the Grainfather, you probably all do this because you've done a few before, so have your first jug of sparge water ready before lifting your thing up. Because I've done it the opposite way around, and then you're scrambling trying to keep the water levels going at the right. So we've got about 1.5 to 2 litres in this, and then we'll keep ahead of the game. Alrighty, so we're 10 minutes on the end of the boil. I've got my last minute addition. Amarillo. So in the boil we've had Centennial and Simcoe at 15 minutes. Warrior as the bittering hop. I had some first Wort hops of Cascade as well, because I had some lying around. Thought it'll add a bit of extra bump to it. And then there's a dry hop of Amarillo and Simcoe to go later, with grapefruit juice and grapefruit. So we'll come to that when we do it at some point next week. And we'll catch up then. So for the moment, pre-boil gravity was a wee bit high, but all the more goodness for us. So it was 1060, it should have been 1057. So only a couple points out. So yeah, looks like we'll have a good amount going into the fermenter. So we'll show a clip of that once it's ready. Here we are, 24 hours after pitching, and as you can see, we pitched the right amount, with a lovely krausen forming, and the smell coming out of there is pretty awesome. So I've got this currently set at 18. And we used US-05 because I didn't have time to culture up a yeast. But yeah, smells good, looks good. Hopefully we've got a winner. Rightio, so just carrying on with the Sculpin clone. It's been about 6 days since fermented, since I brewed it, and it's fermenting along pretty nicely. I'll probably dry hop it tomorrow because it's still just ticking over nicely, and I'll probably dry hop for like 4 or 5 days this month. But in the meantime, I've been trying to find grapefruit, so I can do that part of it. And what I'm probably going to do is sanitize a wee bag and put the grapefruit into the keg, because it's it's just keep releasing the oils. It shouldn't get overly, like you would if you do that with hops, you could get overly grassy, those sort of flavors. And I'll just suspend it about halfway up the keg, so then hopefully in that time it's been fine. But what I've been doing in the meantime is some steeping. So this is some vodka with grapefruit in it. Now this is New Zealand grapefruit, and it's pretty much orange. Like, it just smells like a navel orange, which is weird. But we have the Australian one here, and this smells much closer to what I am, smells the grapefruit character. It's much better. So I'm still tossing up whether to do like a steep in some vodka or something, just to sterilize it, kill everything off, and then add that in, or if I do a bit of zesting and then maybe just heat it up to about 80 degrees in some water or some juice and leave it for that. So I'm still tossing up about how to add it in. I mean, because it's going into a keg and being cold, if there was bugs on it, it wouldn't do much to it, because down at 4 degrees in the kegerator, it's not going to do a lot to it. But so hopefully we'll have, by the end of this week, we'll get it kegged. So probably keg it Friday, and that gives it 2 weeks in the keg to condition before the comp night. So, but it's interesting just the how much has come out, even just the this small amount in the vodka here. There's quite a lot of aroma in here, and this has been open to the air, so it's all been expelling out at the same time. So I mean, you can see there's plenty of reservoirs of oils in all the skin here, so we'll see what we can do with it. Anyway, we'll crack on with this and hopefully catch you Friday when we keg it. Rightio, so it's kegging day. So I've got 2 grapefruit, and I have some mesh to put it in that's been pre-sanitized, and I have my potato peeler there. And so when I'm peeling the grapefruit, I just try and pins, really thin. We don't want any of the pith because that'll add bitterness. But hopefully we get enough of this rind and get it into the sanitized bag without too much fuss. So we can then suspend this. This is quite long, and it's got some stringy bits in the end. So when we add this into the keg, when we're kegging the thing, we'll just pinch. This is quite a light piece of cotton, and we'll just pinch that in the mechanism at the top, so it's like suspended about halfway up. Is the plan. So fingers crossed that actually works. And then hopefully over the 2 weeks, it's just going to infuse nicely. I'll crack on with this, and hopefully I'll be able to show you when I'm kegging it how it all sort of sits and works. Yeah, we're just transferring into keg at the moment. This is the hydro sample. It's looking pretty clear, and it's finished at 10, 12, something like that. That's pretty good. Be nice and dry. And this is what's happening here. So we've got the bag at the moment. It's just hung on to the little clip on the side, but it's just about getting to it in the moment. So I managed to scalp pretty much. You can see most of the, right, you see that bit there where you can see the white. That's what you don't really want to do, and hack off the pith. You can see even better there. So, but these bits where it's still orange underneath, that's what you want to do. You want to just be like getting that bit so you don't get the pith. So yeah, scrape pretty much both of them. Let's try not to do too much of it. They smell pretty good. So there we go. Well, I guess we'll do a taste test in a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks time, and see how it's going. But hopefully, it's pretty good. I've just had a quick taste of the hydro sample. It's quite dry. It's quite aggressively bitter, which I guess is that American style. So yeah, might be close on that respect. And then we'll see how this grapefruit comes through. All right, we'll see you at the tasting. Rightio, I guess the last thing to do with this video is to taste it. So here we go. Here is the beer. You can see good lacing, because there's a lot of carapils. You know, Gladiator. I use Gladiator, but you know, dextrin malt, so promotes that head retention, but also gives that sort of fuller taste in the mouthfeel, considering how little crystal there is in it. So, you know, for a 7% beer, it's quite a light looking beer, but you can see it's nice carbonation. The this is actually the last wee bit of it. It's amazing how fast that keg went. So it's it's been in probably only about 3 weeks, 3-4 weeks. But it was part of K12 and it's gone to AHC and stuff, so yeah, it went through fast. But on the nose, it's good. There's the grapefruit's definitely there. It's not overpowering. When I first had the grapefruit Sculpin, it was more like this, whereas the second lot, it was really powerful and almost artificial, and I preferred the first version. So in that respect, I'm happy with that. We had the competition. It went into the fruit competition from our homebrew club. There was 2 or 3 comments saying it tasted like grapefruit Sculpin, so I guess that's a good sign. And the taste, it's nice. It's got that hop character. It's still got a bit of that grapefruit comes through. It's nice and dry. The bitterness is not overpowering, but it's balanced. I guess is probably what it comes out the most. And I think the dryness of it could have finished at 10 or 10.09. I can't remember. Something like that. It's very from 1065 starting gravity. So yeah, it's nice and dry, and just tastes bloody good. I was really, when I poured this beer, I was like, damn it, it's gone. So I mean, it's potentially one to rebrew. It's good. So yeah, if you're looking to brew the beer, I'll put the recipe underneath here, and you'll have to hunt out and find some decent grapefruit. I used pink Australian grapefruit in the end. The New Zealand ones were too orangey. So when you go into the supermarket, have a scratch and a sniff and see what you prefer. But yeah, go out there and brew your own Ballast Point grapefruit Sculpin.